Yeah, so we're ready. So good morning once again. Welcome to this 171st edition of the Zak World of Façade conference series. My name is Ahad Ahmed. I'm part of the organizing team here at Zak. I just quickly want to introduce the Zak World of Façade conference series with you guys, for those who are attending for the first time around. So we've been doing this event since 2012. This is our 5th edition in Hyderabad. So we first came to Hyderabad, I think, back in 2015. A lot has changed in Hyderabad. 2016, a lot has changed in Hyderabad from then until now. There's lots of construction happening. The city is always changing. Every time it's a pleasant surprise to see it being more modernized. So which means that you have to take care of the buildings. You need to build them better. You need to build them more sustainable, more safe. And I think facades are also playing a major role in designing and shaping cities. So I think today's event will showcase storytelling from our speakers and from our sponsors in terms of how to design safe and sustainable facades. And of course, this conference series we've been doing all across the globe. We've got almost 36 events in 23 countries alone this year, all across the globe, right from New Zealand up until Canada. The way facades are designed, engineered, installed in different countries are completely different. In the Western world, it's more about carbon reduction. I think in India, in Asia Pacific, it's more about value engineering, cost, which will obviously change as the market evolves, as complex projects come in. So for us, every event is different. We need to curate to the local market and put forward storytelling.
It's a panel discussion on the topic is influence of digital tools and modeling for designing facades. And for this, I request Mr. Narsim, who is the chairman of the Indian Institute of Architects, Telangana chapter, to please come on the stage. He'll be taking over as the moderator for this panel discussion.
Good afternoon. So I would like to request our panelists, Architect George Varghese, Director RSP Design Consultants, to come to the stage, please. Architect Ratna Kompella, Head of Design, Aparna Constructions, please come onto the stage. Architect Kanaka Rao, please, he is from Samyog Architects. And Mr. Sapan Gupta, General Manager, Head and Master Planning and Design, GMR. Please come to the stage. So, wonderful talks we have been watching till now. Excellent presentations and their experiences. Just thought I'll ask you to give a two lines about yourself, sir. Mr. George Varghese, when did you finish? In the sense, how many years you are in architecture field and what's your experience?
Okay. My name is George. I'm the director of RSP Design Consultants. I've been in the profession, well, almost 27, 28 years.
28 years?
Yeah.
With RSP?
With RSP, about 21 years.
21 years. In Hyderabad?
In Hyderabad, yes.
Mr. Architect Kanaka Rao.
Hi everyone. I'm Architect Kanaka. I've been with 22 years experience, worked at national and international firms, and presently practicing in Samyog Design Studio in Hyderabad.
Architect Ratna.
Hi everybody. Same as Kanaka, he and I are classmates.
Okay.
So 22 years of experience and currently working as head of design and planning for Aparna Constructions.
Okay. Yes.
My name is Sapan Gupta. I am working with GMR Group, heading master planning and design, and designing airport and doing master planning. Christoph has already spoken about a lot about airports, so maybe I'll also pitch in and
How many years you said, sir?
15 years.
15 years with GMR.
No, I am with GMR, it's been 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been working with some consultancy firms and, providing consultancies to the clients like GMR.
You're also an architect?
I'm an architect and urban planner.
Okay, myself, I'm a professor and architect and landscape architect, practicing for the last 34 years in Hyderabad, worked abroad in Middle East, and I have little experience on various aspects that have projects that are being discussed about. Today, we're all talking about facade design. Well, we had an era before this digitalization has happened. And just to, as an appetizer, I thought I'll just say a few words and then I will ask each one of you about, various questions that we have in our mind. So the modern 3D visualization enables architects to present detailed, immersive facade designs, helping clients understand spatial and material aspects before construction begins. Like tools like BIM, Rhino, simulation software enhance precision, optimize performance and streamline facade design. Then digital tools are transforming facade design in India. So Kanaka,
Yeah.
how did architects in the pre-digitalization age cater to clients and ensure design clarity?
Yeah, pre-digital era was a period where everything happens with human touch, lot of artists involvement without of much of software's availability. So there, like Sir said, it is more of precision, making of life-size prototyping and keeping things and making sign-offs, seeing physical model. Now, after digitalization, it is more of a virtual clarification, sign-off, lot of options. There, not of much options available. So it is to be very tedious, very skillful people involvement, time-taking sometimes. That was the...
We had study models.
Basically, it has to be a study model to see the proportions, scale, and the material applicability or the joining details. Everything used to be physically and prototyping. Most of the prototyping used to happen.
So, Madam, how did client aspirations change with the advent of digital tools?
One is wanting multiple options, wanting to see...
Wanting more.
Wanting more. Wanting to see a lot more options, wanting to see a lot more materials. Globalization also has changed the perspective of clients in terms of what they aspire for their own buildings. And that is something that has been also a pain point because thanks to the digitalization, a lot of them would say something like, I've seen this in Paris, I want that, or things like that. So yeah, there is an upside and there's a downside to this. But yes, a lot more options, a lot more materials that they would want. Yes, there is that the client's perspective on design also has become a key ingredient in the whole design.
So they have hyper aspirations.
Yes, they do. Absolutely.
Randomly ask you people, Kanaka,
Yeah.
is 3D printing extensively used for architectural applications or do we still rely on physical study models?
Yeah, there is a cost factor to that. Everybody can't afford 3D printing machines as of now. Maybe like the mobiles in initial era, how it was little expensive. Now everybody has that. Soon, I wish AEC professionals will use 3D printing as required as demanding. But physical models are very much prevailing now. A lot of professionals still demands, a lot of projects still demands a physical model because it is easily accessible, visible, and they can relate it to that, to the context, and they can make it. Moreover, even AR, VR is enabling a lot of virtual movement into the spaces. 3D printing will still it has its time to come still. But most of the projects it is advised. As architects, we still advise and we are making it. For minor or a little bit of mid-range of projects, it is possible.
In fact, I would like to add to this particular question. So these days we are working on a hybrid mode, especially in India. Even though it is quite easier for us to kind of 3D print any complex structure, maybe for a modeling purpose, but for an easy structure, we go for a a regular CNC cut, or maybe just make the model the way it is being done traditionally. But for any complex structure, let's say I'm coming from a master planning background, so if at all something very complex roof or maybe a stadium structure needs to be put, probably I will try to 3D print it and then put it to the model. So modeling is one application, but then I think where you are coming from is the the human size structure to be 3D printed fully and then utilize it for living or functional purposes. Yes, that is still we are kind of evolving.
3D printing in that sense, like prototyping or doing the scale model of certain complex items or elements in the facade or some of the elements in the within the building, it was too tedious and we required for sure skilled people there. With 3D printing, it can be done dead easy. It is dead easy for that sake, and we can sign off the things with clients whom they cannot visualize or take it for granted. So this model will help us. These models will help. With olden days, we used to do sketches and try to elaborate them, but this 3D printing will definitely help in that sense.
Do you foresee any challenges in adopting digital modeling tools? If so, how?
The primary challenge is cost, because these softwares are pretty expensive. That's number one. Number two is there's always a kind of a cultural issue within firms there's a resistance to change, because most of these new technologies you have to relearn. It's not so easy to transition from basic CAD to these technologies, so that aspect is there. There is also particularly in India, the lack of trained manpower. Even if the software was available and even if all the stakeholders had all the tools, do we have the people to work on those tools? So that's also one challenge. And going forward, when everything will be, using these tools in the coming years, of course, there would be the issue, because most of this would be in the cloud, and there would be aspects of security, cyber security, and that is something which would be a challenge. It's not that it can't be surmounted, but that would be a challenge in the future of adopting or transitioning to these digital.
Do you think, agree with you?
I will add,
I always say the pencil is everything.
Yeah.
Pencil is very important, because pencil and sketching has to go continuously, and that's how human brains, as designers, we sharpen our skills and not just sitting on the laptops and keep working on technologies.
in fact, I've been associated with a few architectural institutes for the past 5 years very closely. I've been associated with one of the institutes for full time also in between after COVID. I was forced to get into that. So what I observed is COA is very keen on, for certain period they had to do manual drafting, understanding the touch of the pencil to the paper and how the brain thinks. That's the stimulation happens and ideas generate. That's the proven fact. So after certain period, second semester, third semester, there is introduction of certain softwares. In our days it was CAD. Now it is much of various softwares, and lot of softwares are student friendly. They are giving without charging them for certain period. So lot of students have acquired those skills in much early stages, and they are doing the academic works. So it is helping them that way. And whoever is equating those, they are easy to work in the actual practices. Whoever is taking it easy, they are facing it different. It is already there. But it depends on, see, usually like what Architect Ratna said is factual. We will be forced with a lot of assignments, not only one topic. There will be acoustic, there will be climatology, there is design studio, and these softwares. So it is very tight for them to get into this. But whoever is getting the basics and practicing really in the practical architectural institutes for the past 5 years very closely. I've been associated with one of the institutes for full time also in between after COVID. I was forced to get into that. So what I observed is COA is very keen on, for certain period they have to do manual drafting, understanding the touch of the pencil to the paper and how the brain thinks. That's the stimulation happens and ideas generate. That's the proven fact. So after certain period, second semester, third semester, there is introduction of certain softwares. In our days it was CAD. Now it is much of various softwares, and lot of softwares are student friendly. They are giving without charging them for certain period. So lot of students have acquired those skills in much early stages and they are doing the academic works. So it is helping them that way. And whoever is acquiring those, they are easy to work in the actual practices. Whoever is taking it easy, they are facing it different. It is already there. But it depends on, see, usually like what Architect Ratna said is factual. We will be forced with a lot of assignments, not only one topic. There will be acoustic, there will be climatology, there is design studio, and these softwares. So it is very tight for them to get into this. But whoever is getting the basics and practicing really in the practical period, practical, internships and all, they are getting it easily. There are a lot of insistence happening. COA gives the academic regulation also depends on the institution. Institution should come up with a lot of inputs, infrastructure development, and awareness of the software's availability. Only once they are coming out of college, they are able to get in hands-on experience. Offices practice is different and the academics are totally, there is no connection in between.
One last question to you, Saban. Do facade consultants and contractors work on the same software? Could you give us some insight?
So, I mean, the answer is no. I mean, they don't work on the same software because the visualization and the conceptualization is one aspect. The another aspect is actually getting it realized. So, probably there could be a file format which will be supporting both the applications, which can be imported to the other one. But I believe, like in my earlier answers also, I've mentioned about grasshoppers and Rhino. These two are the software used by the designers and architects, and they are working on those, tools, and then taking it to a form where a contractor can pick it from there. And contractor is working on Tekla and Bentley and these kind of softwares to kind of make it, getting into a realization mode. So they don't work, but yes, there has to be some sort of integration between both the applications, both set of applications, and of course there are fields. So that's there.
It's like design and engineering.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So we have covered a broad spectrum of insights today. While digitization presents immense opportunities, it also comes with challenges. The key takeaway is that architects must embrace technology while preserving creativity and design integrity. Thank you all for the engaging discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.